Monster, the Ed Gein story, is a darkly compelling, yet frustratingly embellished addition to the Netflix anthology, resulting in a distinctly mixed experience. Now, the series excels at creating a deeply unsettling and oppressive atmosphere, particularly with its focus on Gein's isolated, trauma-ridden life. Charlie Hunnam delivers a standout performance, portraying Ed Gein not as a cartoon villain, but as a genuinely disturbed and isolated man whose unsettling nature is both pitiable and terrifying. Laurie Metcalf is also highly praised for her chilling portrayal of Gein's fiercely religious and manipulative mother, Augusta. Now, the show successfully delves into the psychological darkness of Gein, exploring the root of his macabre fantasies and how his crimes later influenced iconic horror cinema like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The cinematography is often effective in building this psychological tension. However, following the showrunner's signature style, the series takes significant and controversial creative liberties, inventing relationships like a morbid soulmate, fictionalizing crimes, and adding speculative, sensationalized subplots like helping the FBI catch Ted Bundy. For viewers familiar with the historical facts, these changes can feel exploitative, distracting, and unnecessary, detracting from the true horror of the actual case. Now, spread across multiple episodes, the narrative can feel stretched and occasionally drags, lingering on certain elements of Gein's trauma far too long. Furthermore, the show struggles to balance its desire for serious psychological commentary with the injection of stylized melodrama and sometimes gratuitous gore, making the overall tone inconsistent and occasionally self-indulgent. While the show attempts a meta-commentary on the audience's obsession with true crime, critics argue it often ends up being exactly the sensationalistic, lurid exploitation it purports to critique, leaning into shock value rather than genuine insight into preventing such tragedies. Now, in conclusion, Monster, the Ed Gein story is a morbidly fascinating watch, elevated by strong lead performances and its successful creation of a horrific atmosphere. However, the show is simultaneously hampered by a tendency toward fictionalized sensationalism and an inconsistent tone that dilutes the power of its real-life subject, leaving the viewer unsure whether they've watched a penetrating psychological study or just another piece of true crime exploitation.